Hey there, football fans. Welcome to the U.S. Army All-American Bowl Selection Tour Highlight Show presented by Adidas. I'm your host, Tyler Olson, ready to clue you in on 9 future superstars that will impact the world of football for years to come. Each week throughout the selection tour, the athletes selected for the Army Bowl are visited at their high schools and presented their official Adidas Selection Tour presentation jersey by local Army representatives. Let's take a look at this week's group of 9 athletes that will take the field on January 4th inside the Alamo Dome. Let's take a ride to Mississippi for our first athlete this week, CJ Hampton from Meridian High School, where he met our Southwest Selection Tour team. 6'1", 195-pound defensive back, dude should be nicknamed the Lumberjack because all he does on the gridiron is lay the wood. He verbally committed to Ole Miss in June of 2012 and is a top 5 safety prospect nationally. How about Sean Hamilton from Carver High School in Montgomery, Alabama? The same high school that produced last year's Army Bowl quarterback Jeremy Johnson. 6 foot, 240 pounds of forged steel, is a wrecking ball at the linebacker position. He'll look to continue a storied tradition of Army Bowl linebackers at Alabama, including 2010 alum C.J. Mosley, as Sean verbally committed to the Crimson Tide in April. 24/7 Sports has him ranked as a top 10 inside linebacker prospect. Our Northeast team caught up with Caleb Henderson, quarterback from Lake Braddock High School in Alexandria, Virginia. 6'3", 230 pounds, he's already accounted for 29 touchdowns this year, both in the air and with his legs. This dual threat signal caller verbally committed to become a Tar Heel last spring. Now it's time for a tremendous trio from the Midwest Selection Tour team. Started off in St. Louis at Christian Brothers High School for offensive lineman Brian Wallace. This guy is the top-ranked player in Missouri and is 6'6", 305 pounds. He's a brick wall, already has NFL-type size. Our next 2 playmakers hail from Tennessee and are offensive weapons for their respective teams. Josh Malone is a wide receiver from Station Camp High School in Gallatin and is one of the most highly sought-after wideouts in the nation. 41 interested schools. He'll have visited Florida State, Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State, and Clemson before Thanksgiving. The hype isn't new to him, as he was the offensive MVP at the U.S. Army National Combine in San Antonio last year, where he was one of over 500 of the nation's top football prospects. Wherever he goes, good luck covering this nearly 6'3", 195-pound blue chipper. We'll finish this week's visit to the Volunteer State with Jalen Hurd from Beach High School. You look at this guy and you think, all right, he's 6'3", 220. He's probably a pretty good D-line prospect. Dude plays running back. He ran for 3,300 yards and 43 touchdowns in his junior season alone. Both are Tennessee single-season records. Verbally committed to Butch Jones and the Vols of UT back in March. Our West team met with running back Nathan Starks from Cherry Creek High School in Englewood, Colorado. Guy also plays safety, making him a top 10 athlete prospect in the country and the overall best player in Colorado. At 5'11", 200 pounds, he can step right in and contribute wherever he lands. His top 3 includes Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and USC. Our last 2 stops from this week came from our Southeast team. Started in Florida at Providence High School in Jacksonville for O-lineman David Sharp. To beat this guy off the line, you'll definitely have to be on point. 6'6", 288, a top 10 overall prospect nationally, second best tackle, and tops in the Sunshine State. His top 3 features Clemson, Georgia, and the hometown Gators of Florida. We'll round out this week's lineup with Johnny Dixon from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. This wide receiver is the 5th Panther from Dwyer High School to don the Army Bowl uniform in its history. 5'10", 187 pounds, he'll either be saying Roll Tide, Go Bucks, or the hometown favorite, It's All About the U on the college football gridiron next fall. So you might be asking yourself, how do these guys get so good? Well, for Brian Wallace, Josh Malone, and Jalen Hurd, they refined their football technique at Football University, elite-level invite-only camps with professional coaches. To learn how to become like these All-Americans, log on to footballuniversity.org. The families of Brian Wallace, Brian and Leslie, and Nathan Starks, Corey Knotts, were this week's recipients of the Dream Protector Award, courtesy of American Family Insurance. They were rewarded for their role in helping their sons achieve their dreams. Thanks so much to all of our wonderful sponsors, especially our principal sponsors, the U.S. Army and American Family Insurance. This week, we're spotlighting Battle Sports Science. Battle is leading the way with some of the game's most innovative safety and performance products. They offer a full line of different style mouthguards, such as the Oxygen Lip Protector mouthguard, now available with multiple NCAA school logos and colors. Boil and Bite mouthguards, the Nutty Buddy Protective Cup System, and an assortment of the top quality MMA gear. It was another ridiculously incredible week of talent here on the show. And be sure to check us out next week for the biggest one yet, with a whopping 14 athletes from 5 states. And don't forget to tune in on January 4th for the biggest high school game of the year at 1 p.m. Eastern on NBC for the 14th annual U.S. Army All-American Bowl. Thanks for watching the latest edition of the U.S. Army All-American Bowl Selection Tour Highlight Show presented by Adidas. I'm your host, Tyler Olson, and we'll see you next week.